Yo, what's poppin', fellas? It's your boy Tacho here, and we're back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, so we got the Datamine for this year's Golden Week banner, with all the adorable little Sacred Stones kiddos. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at their stats, and we have info for the Tempest Trial, the free-to-play innies that we're gonna get, and a whole bunch of other things as well. There's info on Hall of Forms too, so let's just jump right in and start things off with the unit stats. And we're going to start off with the duo Eirika and Ephraim combo. So they've got 40 HP, 36 attack, 43 speed, 30 defense, and then 28 res for a grand total BST of 177. And their duo skill is going to bump their BST up to 190 for scoring modes. So pretty solid for scoring, pretty good BST overall. And then they have a super boon in speed. Surprise, surprise. So that's obviously going to play up to their duo skill, just basically giving everybody speed-based damage reduction. So a pretty strong unit. Their weapon is also, like, insane. They deal 20% of the foe's defense as damage, and then also recover 20% of the foe's defense as HP after they attack. And it happens for each attack that they do as well. So they're going to be sustaining and dealing so much true damage. This unit is just nuts, and I will be summoning on the banner to try and get a copy of them. So look forward to that. Hopefully I don't have to go in too deep, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Alright, next up we have the adorable little kid Tana here. So she's got 40 HP, 39 attack, 41 speed, 29 defense, and 23 res for a BST of 172. And then she's got super boons in plus attack and plus speed. So Tana's pretty solid overall. I would say maybe plus speed is the way to go, but plus attack is actually a good idea as well, because you can give her Heavy Blade as the seal and then Gale Force. And she's going to be able to jump with her jump effect, which is basically the same as Naoi's Grimoire jump. So pretty nasty stuff, and also her skill grants Kanto in the B slot. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at these skills. So both Larcei and the kid Tana have this new trace skill that's going to enable Kanto. And these skills are in fact locked to flying and cavalry types, just like I thought. So both of them, as you can see here, infantry and armors can't use them. So we pretty much assumed that would be the case. And it also works in this way, where Tana's is going to be enabled only for melee types, while Larcei's is enabled for the range type units. And of course, as we remember, Tana's grants Kanto Rem +1. So they're giving a little bit of a movement bonus to the melee types, which makes sense. Obviously, range type units attacking from one space away would be a little OP if they were able to also get Kanto Rem +1. So only the melee types are going to get that one additional movement after they use Kanto. Not really a big deal though. I mean, Kanto in general, just being able to get Kanto for free out of your passive B is just insane. And I can imagine like some crazy units to give this to, like possibly Reinhardt. Maybe this isn't the best stat combo though for Reinhardt, because Larcei's trace skill is doing speed and res -3 to the foes. And Reinhardt doesn't really care that much about speed. So you may want to wait for attack and res far trace to give that one to Reinhardt instead. And then all of a sudden Reinhardt is going to be able to Kanto. So pretty nasty stuff. These trace skills are definitely going to be something to watch out for in the future. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the kid Lyon next. He is actually going to be our 4-star demote on the banner. So let's take a look at this guy, see if he's going to be a good merge project. So he's got 38 health, 42 attack, 18 speed, 34 defense, and then 37 res. Oh my god. Talk about defenses and attack as well. And his stats, his super boons are going to be plus HP and plus attack, which is ludicrous considering his attack stat there. And his overall BST is 165. Honestly, that's not the biggest problem, I would say. His bulk is like really outrageous, and then he has that colorless type advantage on his tome, and he also inflicts attack and res -6 on the foes if they initiate on him. So he's going to be a really good merge project in my opinion. After seeing his stat line, I am a little bit more impressed than I was before. Of course, when we saw the trailer, he didn't really look that spectacular, but man, I really have to recant what I said about him. Maybe I will actually summon on the banner and try to plus 10 this guy as well. I'm currently on like 400 and something-ish orbs, so I might be able to walk out with a plus 10 on this guy. We'll have to see. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Larcei next. Alright, so she's got 36 HP, 37 attack, 38 speed, 16 defense, and 30 res for a BST of 157. And then Larcei's got super boons in HP and speed. So pretty good stuff. Probably going to want to go plus speed on her. Her weapon is just like so good, it's insane. Compared to all the other staffs in the game, this is like by far the most offensive staff weapon we've got. And then also it can inflict flash or candlelight at the start of the turn on a foe that's within 5 spaces of her, which is her maximum target reach, being a ranged cavalry type unit. So if you were to try and bait this Larcei with a unit that's going to be in her attack radius, they're pretty much going to get hit by flash / candlelight at the start of the turn. So a very nasty weapon, very powerful unit. And finally, we have our Tempest Trial prize here. So we have the Kid Innies. This guy has been the talk of the town ever since we saw what his weapon does and like all the other things about him. So does he live up to the hype? He's got 43 HP. Oh, hold on. They actually made a boo-boo here. Yeah, for some reason, Lyon and Innies, I just noticed this. They have their weapons equipped. So their attack stats, I guess we got to take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, okay, that's actually a little bit worse for Lyon because his attack is not going to be 42. Yeah, oh man, that kind of sucks. I was thinking he was going to have like 46 base attack and then -6 res on the foe from his weapon. Yeah, that kind of stings for him. So make sure when you take a look at his base stats, you calculate that he has thunder there. So this guy, his weapon is going to have, what, 14 might, I believe? So let's just bring up the calculator real quick. 15 minus 14. All right, so 37. All right, don't take this up with me. Whoever made this infographic is the one who put the weapons on them for some reason. So he's got 43 HP. He's got 37 attack, 38 speed, 26 defense, and 27 res for a grand total BST of 171. And then our boys got super boons in speed and defense. So they actually held it down pretty well. I gotta admit, I am surprised that they gave this man a super boon in speed. Just because his weapon is so good, I don't really see any reason not to build him if you're trying to go for a bow unit as a merge project. So let's go ahead and take a look at Innies' skills here. So Bow of Frelia, it's got 14 might and 2 range, -1 special trigger, effective against flying, and at the start of combat, if his HP is above or equal to 25%, he's going to gain an additional attack and speed up 6, and also if he triggers a special during combat, he's dealing 7 true damage, and he's neutralizing any damage reduction skills the foe may have. So pretty nasty stuff right here. He negates damage reduction, he gets 7 true damage, and -1 special trigger, and attack and speed up 6, like, this weapon is the tits, man. This is a really good weapon, especially for a free-to-play unit. So I think I found my next Grail merge project here. Let me know in the comments if you guys are looking forward to building up this Innies. And finally, after how many years? Well, actually, I don't remember exactly when Norn came out, but basically Norn is old hat by this point. She's been completely replaced by this Kid Innies, so that's always good to see. All right, we have Glimmer as his special, Swift Sparrow 2 for the A slot, and then Distant Guard 3 as his C skill. Swift Sparrow is going to be his 5-star skill, while Glimmer and Distant Guard are unlocked at 4-star. I mean, it's not really the biggest deal. Distant Guard, we have so many other units that have this skill by this point. It's not like the craziest, but it is a good skill for fodder. The main thing, though, is his weapon is really good. and it's going to make him a very good merge project to go for. Okay, here are the Sacred Seals, and I have no idea why this image is this enlarged. Okay, let's just dial it back there for a second. Okay, so our Sacred Seals this time around are going to be Attack and Defense Form 1, and then Ward Dragons. So Ward Dragons, actually Ward skills in general, being Sacred Seals is a very good thing. They just passively grant 4 to defense and res if you're in 2 spaces of this type of unit. So these are going to be really good. Ward Cubes are still really good despite how many years into the game we are. Ward skills always going to be worthwhile. And then Attack and Defense Form. These form skills aren't really like the best as far as A-slot passives go. And as far as Sacred Seals, I don't really think they're that good either, to be honest. I think the solo skills just probably have them beat. But in the ideal conditions, the form skills do actually have 1 additional point to the stats. But you gotta have like 3 units within 2 spaces. So, like I said, not really ideal. I think the solo skills probably better. But it is nice that they are trying to give us some new skills as Sacred Seals. So, at the very least, that is nice. Okay, and finally, we come over to the Datamine grab bag by the homie Banpei-kun, once again holding it down. I'm going to leave a link to this post in the description of this video if you guys want to take a look at all the information compiled here. But there's just one thing I want to talk about over here, and that is going to be the Hall of Forms for this week, or the Hall of Forms for this month. So it's going to be Fire Emblem 4 themed, and our units are going to be Larcei, Shannan, Sed, and Altena. So not too shabby. Altena is a 4-star summonable unit, so if you wanted to build her and possibly deck her out with some good stuff, may not be a bad idea to pick her up in there. The only thing about Altena I will say is that she did come with a perf weapon at the time, which inflicted lull attack and defense 5. A pretty crazy weapon, but it's been totally power crept by the Flowing Lance, which does the same thing, except it works on all opponents, whereas Altena's weapon, I believe it didn't work on flying type units. I'd have to double check. It's been a while since I've actually looked at what her weapon does, but unfortunately her weapon has been a little bit power crept. Otherwise, she is a flying unit, so some good skills to give her, like attack and defense rain, or maybe Wyvern Flight. I don't know if she has enough speed for Wyvern Flight, but maybe you could give her the, that seal that gives you plus 10 speed. I forget what it's called at the time. Or you could even give her guard bearing and just have her be a damage reduction tank. So you got some good ways to run Altena. As far as the 5-star exclusive units go, I think it's probably going to be a toss-up between Larcei and Shannan. As for which one of those you want to go for, I can't really say. They're both really, like, similar. Shannan negates his own penalties, I believe, and then Larcei, what does she do? I think she negates the foe's bonuses. So if you want a lull effect, you could go for Larcei, or if you want to just avoid getting hit by dominance, then Shannon's probably your guy to go for. And just a quick check to make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright, we talked about the seals. Alright, we talked about the unit stats and the skills. So, yeah, that seems to pretty much cover everything. I will do a video later this week to talk about what skills you may want to give to these Hall of Forms units. So, look forward to that. But that pretty much covers us for this Datamine. So, hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. Like I said, I will be summoning on the banner. I'm not sure if I'm going to go for the plus 10 on Lyon just yet, but I do at least want to get one copy of this duo hero. Their duo skill is one of the craziest. So that's all for tonight. This is your boy Tacho signing out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.